Welcome back, everyone, to our playthrough of the career mode here in NASCAR Heat 2. So the last video was extremely tense. We started at the very back with an untested setup. I didn't know how good that setup was going to be. I knew it was going to be a challenge to get from the back to the front in the few number of laps that we were going to have. But of course, that's what we want. We want an extreme challenge on something like that. I also figured that we were going to have to probably win that race in order to bring home the championship, and that ended up being the case as well. Also, I figured that the guys we were going to have to beat, the other three cars, were going to be running very close to the front, if not the top three positions. And that turned out to be very close to reality as well, with first and second, once we got to the front, were two of the championship competitors in Elliott Sadler and Eric Jones. So none of that was at all surprising. We didn't have the best car. We ran those guys down, so we had a good car, don't get me wrong. But I still feel like Eric Jones had the best car. We were able to get by him through the lap traffic and ultimately able to hold him off when he made a late race charge in those last couple of laps. So now it's time to decide where we want to go. And of course, we want to go to the Monster Energy Series. So let's go ahead and click there. And of course, again, we have lots of teams that would like to have us in the Xfinity or the Camping World Truck Series, given that we've won 2 championships now, so that makes sense. But let's go to the Monster Energy Series, where there are 7 teams that would like to have us. Now, we talked about this, I believe it was 2 videos ago. I'm sort of losing track of time and when we talk about certain things. So starting out with the 3-star teams, we have BK Racing, then Go Fast Racing, and then Germain Racing. When we move up to the 4-star teams, we got Front Row and then Richard Childress. Okay, then finally the 5-star teams of Hendrick and then Stewart Haas. So we have the choice of running one of each of these 2 5-star teams, which is what I'm going to choose. I'm going to choose a 5-star team here for the same reason that I did going back to the beginning of the Xfinity season. Is I think we have a great way of handicapping ourselves with the setup itself, so I don't think we need to worry about choosing 3- and 4-star teams and going about it from that route. So we have the option of choosing one of the 4 teams that they already have, and so the question is, do we want to run our own custom car, or do we want to choose one car that's already in the stable? And for me, it's a pretty easy decision. I want to use the custom car. So who do we want to override here? Obviously, we're not going to override the 88 or the 48 at Hendrick. It would either be the 24 or the 5, and that makes it a pretty easy decision. Now, luckily for us, we don't have to worry about real-world implications of this. All 4 of these cars will still be on the track, or at least that's the way it's been in times past whenever we've chosen a custom car. So right now, we're going to use a custom car over the 5 car. Yes, we would like to replace the 5 car. And we will accept that. So now we have unlocked the achievement, a seat at the table, which means that we signed with a Cup team. So now we're ready to start Season 3. But first, let's see. Okay, it still lists all of the teams that are interested in us and our contracts we signed. Let's take a look at and see with the Xfinity teams. Now before, let's see, it doesn't really mention anything. Okay, I thought it might mention opportunities for us to run a few races per season, and maybe if we accept this and get on into it, maybe it would, but I really don't want to take that chance, quite frankly, because I'm wondering how it would work with you having the ability to run the double or the triple even at somewhere like Bristol or maybe Richmond, some places like that. But maybe that's what's going to happen throughout the season as we continue. I don't know. I haven't gotten this far in the career mode before. This is the only career mode I have done. So let's go ahead and start Season 3. Are you sure you want to start the season? Yes, I am. And now Brad K's got another message for us.
You made it to the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series. Welcome to the big leagues. Don't expect me to go easy on you. You're going to need some good luck.
We're going to need some good luck, huh? I think what we really need is a fast car. And I think Hendrick will have the ability to do that for us. So let's take a quick look at our rivals, and you can see everybody right now is friendly with us, which makes sense. It's been a long time since we raced a cup race in the hot seat, so it's given everybody plenty of time to cool off if indeed they needed to. So I like starting off this way. We'll see how long it lasts. Also, let's take one final look at our statistics from the Camping World Trucks and the Xfinity. So we now won a championship in both the Trucks and Xfinity, one season each, one championship each. So 31 races in the Truck Series, and we come home with 13 wins. Xfinity Series, 41 races. Of course, that also includes hot seat offers and things that we had, as well as the expanded schedule that the Xfinity Series runs compared to the Trucks. So out of 41 races, we come home with 12 victories there. And then finally, in the Monster Energy, we have 8 races and 1 win so far. But overall, great numbers, much better than they would be in real life. I mean, some people don't win, or in fact, most people don't win 26 races in their entire career, much less in the first 2 seasons. So I think there's some work to do for the game, making this thing harder than it is now. But overall, the science project has helped fill in some of those blanks and really helped us to handicap some things along the way. So let's go ahead and look at the next race. But first, we need to get an incentive contract, and this really makes no difference. Look at the payout here, $640,000. Now, it might mean something if we actually had something to do with the money that was worthwhile, but as of now, it makes no difference whatsoever. So let's see, what do we want to do? Let's start off with just the easy one, because I'm really not sure how we're going to do with our science project just yet. We'll have to see what kind of speed we have as we get the season started, just like what we had to do in previous series and previous races. We'll have to see how fast we're going to be with certain setups and then adjust from there if we want to finish better or worse than where we end up. So we'll start off with the easy one. Again, not that it matters a whole lot. There's our custom paint scheme, again, done by my kids. So I'm very happy about that. And so we're ready for the first race at Daytona. All right, so before we get this Daytona 500 started, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the setup. And again, nothing is going to look very odd here. I am keeping in tune with what we were using in the Xfinity Series, as that was working out great for us. We'll have to see if we can use this to work our way to the front and get ourselves a great finish. Hopefully we don't work our way up there and dominate the race, because if that's the case, that would be no fun, and we'll have to do some things to add some fun there. But this will be the starting setup that we'll use, and we'll see how it goes. All right, green flag here in the Daytona 500, and already we're having to get way out of the throttle as things get up to speed. We'll want to get to the bottom, so let's go ahead and drop down there. So once again, no practice laps and no qualifying, so these will be the first laps that I'm turning. And let's see, can we fit down below? Yes, we can. So this is just trying to get up to speed right now. And we're going to try to pass as many cars as we can and get as far to the front as we can. All right, so already I can see that we're running a lot of RPMs. Again, that's not something that I touched. I just left it as the default setting for the track had it. You can hear those engines singing at between 8,500 and 9,000 RPMs. So that's going to be a handicap to us, because I think we're actually going to run out of RPM sometimes whenever we get some of these big runs. Let's see if we can't stick it in down at the bottom. There we go. But it's hard to get a run out here because we're out here all by our lonesome. Turning 9,000 RPMs. Wow. You can see Jeffrey Earnhardt he was keeping it down to the bottom, making it impossible for us to pass him on the low side. All right, so right now we're just trying to follow along, make passes where we can, when we can. Trying to keep it down fairly low on the track just in case we get nice opportunities to pass. Not bad. We're up to 30th. Way out of the gas there as Jones slid down in front of us, breaking all of our momentum. Let's see if we can get to his inside. No, he did not want that to happen. Now we got to his inside. Again, we're just trying to make passes when we can. And I'm really having to do a lot of lifting. Oh, there we go. We got a good run. Looks like somebody up front there really bottlenecked the pack. So we have an opportunity on this lap to pass 3 or 4 cars, maybe even more. As long as they can keep it together and nobody wrecks, we'll be fine. Yeah, you can see we got a lot of good momentum right there. So now we're up to 21st. Ooh, look out, Reagan. We'll try to slide under him here going into turn 1. And hopefully be able to complete this pass out of the gas a little bit. Running back somewhere around 80% throttle or so. Sometimes a little bit less depending on how much these guys slow down in the corners. Try to get to the inside of Newman. Again, set him up for a pass going into the next corner. No reason to lift when we have open track in front of us. But as we come up quickly on some of these cars, I have to lift. We're not trying to start a wreck here. Those are easy to do anyway, so I don't need any help. Oh, there we go. Great run here. Dylan, yep. He blocked us just enough there. All right, up to the top 15 now. That is very good. I really wish there was a high side here, a high lane that the AI would run. But there really isn't one. We can make one if we're fast enough, but the AI really don't seem to make up much of any ground once they get into the higher lanes, either the second or the third groove. All right, pretty good run here. Again, we're just trying to inch our way to the front, and so far, so good. Yikes. Kenseth, all right, he's going to give us the bottom. Very appreciative. Thank you very much. All right, let's see if we can get back to the bottom. We are up inside the top 10 now. I really like hearing that. All right, way out of the gas there as we go through 3 and 4. All right, now we come up behind Junior, who is now a teammate. All retirements aside. Ouch, looks like we got into Junior a little bit there. All right, now we've got the inside line. Is anybody going to go with us? Is the real question. And we've got the speed. And Amarola, surprised to see him up here. Of course, he won't be in that car next season. He'll be with Stuart Haas in the 10 car. Should be a great ride for him. All right, we should be able to put Amarola safely behind us, and we do. All right, so we made it to the front with relative ease, actually. 9 laps into the race, and we've gone back to front. So now I'm just going to start playing around a little bit. As much as I obviously would like to win the Daytona 500, right now, the most important thing is just to have some fun. That's what this is all about at the end of the day. So let's see if these guys can make a challenge for the position. Obviously, if I just keep it around the bottom, it looks like nobody's going to be able to hang with us and make a pass on the high side. So if I get any indication that there's going to be a high side up there, like right now I see Ryan Blaney up there, then I won't hesitate to jump up there with them and try to make that lane work, because I absolutely love going to the high side. Alright, Junior's kind of wanting to come by us here. Let's see. Yeah, it wasn't very hard to break his momentum there and keep him behind us. Alright, let's see. Once again, the high side just can't get formed up. See the 48 car ducking out and going a little bit to the high side, but quickly coming right back down to the single file racing. What I would prefer right now is if we were running 3 wide and I was having to figure out which line had the run and which lane do I need to block and all that, but unfortunately that's just not the way the game is right now. Now I see these guys up there. Oh, Brad K is coming. Let's go up there and join him. Alright, there goes the 88. Predictably right by us. But now the fun is, let's see if we can bring the high side back. Let's see if we can take... Looks like the 21 car is behind Brad K. Let's see what we can do up here. Maybe nothing. Or maybe we can get our way back to the lead. I'm not sure. Right now, we're not getting any help up here. Ooh, almost got into the wall there. Looking out of the rearview mirror more than I was looking out the windshield. All right, you can see we can draft great up onto these guys. All right, so now Kansas slides up in front of us. Let's see what we've got. Maybe we can use him, get our way to the front. There's a nice draft off of him. Ooh, look at Junior running around up there all over the place. We're going to squeeze our way through here because why not? Ouch. Ouch. My goodness. These guys don't tap, they hammer you. Well, I guess there is some good news. We're back to the bottom now, so... Alright, we have a great run on these guys. Oh, I had to get way out of the gas there, because we had a fabulous run. But unfortunately, nowhere to go with it. Alright, here we go again. Another big run. Let's go, Paul Menard. You're either going to have to get shoved or get out of the way. Those are your two options right now. Alright, now we've made our way back to the front. Let's go ahead and try to push Junior out front here a little bit, rather than take that spot on the bottom. Ease out of the gas a little bit, stay behind him. Alright, so yeah, having a little bit of fun here. 26 lap race for us. Now that we're in the Cup Series, the races... Oh, look at him just go right up the track. We don't want to pass you, Junior. Trying to stick with you. But I need you to run a good lane. So... Still a car out where? Third place, I'm looking at him in our mirror. Maybe he was, I don't know what he was doing. But our spotter is confusing me. Alright, we're going to have a good run coming off the corner on Junior. This is where we can pull down to the inside. for a pass, but that's not really what we want right now. Let's stick with Junior for a little while. Another good run on him going into turn 3. Little shot. Send him down into the corner good. You can see right now that the other cars are having a real hard time getting to us. So we're going to have, what, 10 laps to go here? Yeah, 10 laps to go. Back off the gas right before we get to the corner. And you can see he's moving his way up the track. And we're going to have a great run. There he goes, moves his way up to the track. Alright, there. We had to go down low. We're trying to block Menard. They finally got a run to get up to us. Let Junior get down to the bottom. A little defensive driving here, trying to protect us and our teammate in our spot out front. Alright, let's see if I can't get a run on him here. Give him a little bump. No, Matt Kenseth is right there, trying to get to our inside. So it took them a few laps, but they've gotten back to us now. All right, another big run on Junior coming off the corner. Try to give him another good shot. And that does help us get away a little bit. You can see everybody back there for a long way is single file behind us. Give Junior another shot. Oops. Almost got to his inside and did not intend to. All right, here we go. Give him another shot down the straightaway. Keeping our distance, hopefully, from third place. You can see, let me give him another shot as we enter the corner. Still a car out where? All right, let me hit the A button a couple times. Is there a car somewhere I don't know about? Because third place is Matt Kenseth, and he is in my mirror. I see him, and he is definitely not to my outside. Closed in way too quickly on Junior there. Try to tuck in right behind him. Maximum drafting. Again, he's leaving that bottom just wide open for us. Well, right now we're managing to keep our distance. If I just keep bumping him off these corners, when I get a good run on him, if I just keep bumping him, that seems to keep the guys behind us at bay. All right, 6 more laps. Back off the gas a little bit. Going into the corner, give him a little bit of room. There we go, another shot. You can see these guys behind us are starting to fight it out a little bit amongst themselves. As soon as they get lined back up, that'll probably bring them back to at least within a couple of tenths. But we're down to the end of the race now. 5 laps to go. So once again, I'm going to try to give Junior one little shot as we enter the corner. And see if we can't edge ourselves out as far in front of these guys as we can. Because what I'm hoping for here is a 1-2 finish for the teammates. All right, nice shot here for Junior. Back off a little bit mid-corner so we don't get right up on him. Try to time our hit till we're off the corner. Got to him a little bit early that time. And we've got a lap car up here. Hopefully this doesn't mess him up. You wouldn't think it would, but unfortunately it does with the AI. All right, let's go ahead and get rid of that leaderboard graphic. We don't really need it anymore. All right, another bump there for Junior. Another bump right before we get to the corner. All right, coming to, what, 3 to go, I believe, this time by. There we go. Don't really want to go to his high side. Oh, here they come. So they're going to get a good run on us here. We're going to have to make sure they don't get below us. I'm going to run low here. Junior is not coming down the track. Unfortunately, I was trying to give him an opportunity to come down the track, but he did not. Of course, in real life, he would have definitely come down the track there. All right, so much for that 1-2 finish. That is not lining up now. Now I'm going to have to see if I can keep the lead for a couple more laps. Regardless, win or not, this should be a very good points day for us to get started. And of course, if we get the win, then our chances for making the playoffs are now very good. Let's see if we can sniff a little bit of a draft off the lap car in front of us. We'll see where this lap car goes in the corner. I'm guessing to the bottom. Yeah. All right, so with any good fortune, we'll catch this lap car going through the tri-oval and be able to clear them before we get to turn 1. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen. All right, this is the last lap, and this is going to get interesting. All right, we are catching this guy in the worst possible spot. All right, nope, it didn't turn out that bad. I thought we were going to catch him right as he was coming off the corner with no ability to get under him. But thankfully, we didn't catch him until we got right back up on the straightaway. All right, so now we just have to last a couple of more corners and a short straightaway, and we'll have it. Now we'll just sort of keep an eye out here, and Kansas doesn't look like he's got a run on us. And we're going to do it. How about that? Our first Daytona 500 and our first Daytona 500 victory. Very nice. Again, that was much easier than I wanted it to be. But we did have some fun along the way with Junior. Looks like Junior came home just outside the top 5 there. Definitely not what I was hoping for him. And yeah, so he comes home 6th. And I see Casey Kane down there. And that's the only other teammate I saw as I quickly was trying to glance down through. Look at that, what a payoff. So we get 140 grand per race from the team, and then winning the Daytona 500 nets us 1.5, almost $1.6 million. So that's quite a payday. That will work. That puts us up over $9.5 million in our bank account. Wouldn't we all love to see that? And of course, most importantly, it gives us our first win of the season and those all-important playoff points. So not a bad way to start off the season. Come to Daytona for your first Daytona 500 and bring home the trophy. Very nice. We also had the fastest lap, which of course doesn't mean a whole lot of anything at Daytona. Let's head back to our main menu. All right, and now we got a message from Ron Blaney.
Hey, congratulations on your first Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series win. That's really awesome. Nice job.
He was very enthusiastic about that. All right, let's see what Michael McDowell's got for us. who I believe was the lap car we were trying to pass there at the very end.
Wow, that was so close. Congrats on the amazing win.
All right, Martin Truex says, nice one. Winning a race in the Cup Series is no small feat. Knee-pit gaming is kind of a big deal. All right, we'll take it. Danica Patrick. Oh, and she's letting us know we just got to 1 million fans. Now we're at 1.1 million fans. That's an amazing milestone. Knee-pit gaming is a superstar. Thank you very much, Danica. Greatly appreciated. All right, so hard to imagine our very first Cup race going much better than that, or at least the first Cup race of our full-time ride. Hard to imagine it going much better than that. Of course, we ticked the boxes for one race, one top 15, but of course, qualifying top 15 is not going to happen because we're starting from the back. But now it's time to head to Atlanta, but that will be in our next video. For now, thank you very much for joining me, and stay tuned for more of our playthrough of the career mode here in NASCAR Heat 2.